All right, Shawn, let's get into some fights coming up. I just want to get your takes on a few things. First off, I saw the clip on your podcast with Jaron Ennis.
Yeah.
So I just want to get a clarification because it came to me that it came out the wrong way. Like I felt like what you were trying to say was he's not proven yet. So before you start giving him all these labels, these titles, let him do the things that you're saying he can do against these guys before you label that label on him. But let me get your clarification on it.
Yeah, I mean, I basically spelled out what I meant after I said it on the Porterway podcast. But essentially, yeah, that's it. I think that's probably the wrong term to use is overrated.
Unproven, maybe.
Yeah, maybe unproven. However, I feel like he's proven. And then people like, there's a couple of things. I said what I said and I meant what I said. When I say the word, when I use the phrase overrated, I'm basically throwing that at anyone who does not follow the boxing game and has not watched Jaron Ennis since he was in the Golden Gloves as an amateur. Since he lost the Olympic trials to one of the Russell brothers, and since he's been professional. A lot of people in the boxing game, they don't know about these fighters until other people start talking about them, till there becomes, for the sake of words, a company line, or here's what you know about this fighter. And what we all know about Ennis is all true. However, what people say, I am not in full agreement with. People say, "Oh, I'm in full agreement that he's the next." Full agreement with that. What I'm not in full agreement with is when people say, "Oh, he's gonna wash that fighter, that fighter, that fighter, that fighter." I'm like, hey, this dude is gonna be in some very good, great boxing matches. Let those matches happen. Don't just put the stigma of him washing every fighter he gets in the ring with right there in your face. And so once a few people say that, now that's what his reputation is that he is next, but I don't think he washes, definitely not the top 3 to 4 guys in the welterweight division. I think those are all great fights. Honestly, he's a problem, and he might beat all 4 of those top guys. But for everybody to just say, "Oh yeah, he's washing them," I can't rock with that.
I know you had to have seen the reply tweet that he sent to you, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was a little too late. I didn't give it, so I don't give a damn about my social media. And when I saw it, it was I had nothing to say to it. But then I have this video of my son wearing my brand, and I said, hey, maybe we should just post this and say shopshawnporter.com, because I know that everybody's looking at both of our accounts right now. And, you know, it's kind of how I feel about his response. If there was no Jaron Ennis ever, Shawn Porter still would have retired November, what was that? November 22nd was my fight? November 20th? Was it the 20th or the 22nd?
Let's see. The specific date was 11/20/2021.
Oh, 21. Yeah. So Shawn, 20. Yeah. So 20. Shawn Showtime still would have retired November 20th of 2021. You know, and I am definitely a fan of his. I'm a fan of his family, and I definitely feel like he's gonna be next. But at the same time, I'd rather fights happen opposed to the stigma of him being nobody's got any competition for him. I think there's definitely competition for him, and I'm just kind of sick of hearing it. That's kind of where it came from. I was just kind of you know, was in a moment. I had a moment.
Yeah. I know how. What would you tell in person? Like, how is that interaction gonna go?
I'm hoping to get something from him soon. And there's really no beef. He's not a beef guy, you know. He's not a beef guy. He reminds me a lot of Terrence Crawford, where Terrence just wants to do his job. He doesn't really want to talk about it. He doesn't really care to sell a fight. He allows his actions to speak for themselves.
Yeah, that's when because you're doing the podcasting and then you're also doing the analyst stuff. It's different on the other side because you're forced to give your opinions, and sometimes those opinions, like with this, might not be as taken to some fans. It is a little different getting that sort of criticism sometimes.
When I first started the Inside PBC Boxing Show, we recorded all of our episodes, and it was like we would do a rehearsal, and here's what we're going to talk about, and it was kind of like, I gotta talk about that guy. I gotta talk about that guy. And initially I would start to kind of fabricate everything into what I feel people wanted to hear. And it's like, I got to a point where it was like, hey man, if you don't say it, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Forget everybody else, And so I started to just be like, hey, say what needs to be said. If someone doesn't agree with it, of course they'll speak about it on social media, but you're a man. And if they want to say something about it in person, handle it in person. I've really never had to deal with that. I do feel like there's been one, maybe two bridges that have been burned, or there's been a fire set on those bridges. I expect those bridges to eventually be built back up and come back into intact. But nevertheless, I'm there to do a job, and I'm there to give my personal analytic opinion. And I think one thing that separates me from probably every analyst out there in the boxing game is nobody taught me how to be analytical. I'm just kind of made this way. And the way I am on TV is the way that I am off TV. I give you a prime example. We just put my 4-year-old in private school. Took me about 3 weeks to make a decision, because I had to analyze everything, and it had to make sense to me, and I had to make sure that I wasn't being selfish or biased towards what I wanted or what I did and didn't have. Same thing with the boxing game. I'm not, my opinions are always unbiased. They're not biased, and they're not selfish opinions. They are my simple analysis based on everything that I've seen and what I know about the sport. So what I know is Jaron Ennis is going to be in some great, exciting fights. I know that he has the potential to beat 1, 2, 3, 4 in the welterweight division, but he's also has the potential to go 12 rounds with all of those guys and not wash those guys, beat those guys, and possibly lose to 2 out of the top 4 guys in the division.
Who do you think he loses to?
He loses, if he were to lose. Don't put that. Don't say if he were to lose.
If he were to lose, like who do you see him potentially beating him?
If he were to lose, if a great fight that would be a split decision on the scorecards or something like that, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. I think that those guys are still very much so elite. Have swim in the ocean with the sharks. I think that that Boots can outswim them all, but we have not seen him in the ocean yet. And we have not seen him in the ocean with other sharks yet. We've seen him in the ocean with we've seen him in the lake with some old sharks, but nothing that's like the guys out there now.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.